So with the season of love upon us, I want to talk about something else that's in that realm of love. Today I want to talk about marriage and why less and less people are getting married today. And if you're going to ask me, my personal opinion is society as a whole is the problem. Now, I understand that's a very broad statement, but let me break it down for you. Now, in full disclosure, I am not married and I have never been married, but I have had opportunities to be married. I'm not saying women have ever proposed to me, but I've had women wanting to marry me. I just didn't want to marry them. Now, with that being disclosed, let me get into the reasons on why. This isn't in any particular order, but something that immediately comes to my mind is people's standards. On the male side, they want a girl that's very beautiful, they want a girl that cooks, cleans, that takes great care of herself in the household, etc. They want that. And on the female side, they want a guy that's a high earner, that's in shape, is good looking, which is totally fine. Have your standards, do whatever you guys want, but the problem is that people only want those things, and if they don't check off all those boxes, for some reason they just don't want to date the person anymore. Now, I'm not saying don't have any sort of standards whatsoever, but what I am saying is that in general, people do want all these things, but yet they don't look at themselves in the mirror asking themselves what they offer to that person. Why would a guy that's a high earner, goes to the gym all the time, is good looking, is well connected, want a girl that doesn't do those things? And on the opposite side, why would a girl that knows how to cook, clean, take care of her household, is beautiful, also keeps herself in shape, want a guy that doesn't offer anything to her? Like I said, have standards. I'm not saying don't have any standards, but what I am saying is, what do you have to offer that other person? Something that really ties into having high standards is looking for perfection. Like I said, people have their standards, but when they do not want to adjust their standards in any sort of way, shape, or form, it's going to be really, really hard to find a partner. People's dating options by their own standards just go super narrow. And I feel like in today's society, people have been told to don't settle for anything, go after what you want, get what you want, this, that, and the other. So when people are not willing to adjust their standards and they are looking for that perfect person, yeah, no wonder it's hard to find someone to even date. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, you do find somebody that fits all your standards, checks all the boxes that you want. Now we're running into a different issue. I believe that relationship dynamics are all jacked up in this day and age. Generally speaking, women want a guy that knows how to fix things. But there's a lot of guys out there that don't even know how to change their oil or their tires. There's guys out there that legitimately have a problem with taking out the freaking trash. And on the flip side, there's women that generally have an issue with doing dishes and cooking. That may not be your relationship dynamic. Your husband might cook sometimes, or your wife might take out the trash sometimes. I'm just saying, there are roles that need to be filled, and there's a lot of people not willing to fill those roles. And probably the worst thing is that people are not willing to work at their relationship. For some odd reason, the first sign of trouble, people just give up on their relationship. For some odd reason, in this day and age, we're taught if it doesn't make you happy, then you should just move on. That's not true. Anything that's worth having, you have to work at it. Just like I was saying in relationship dynamics, however yours is set up, you guys have to work at it and figure it out for yourselves. Some people are very traditional, some people are very nuanced in their relationship, but either way, you have to work at it. And I feel like in today's society, we're taught that if it doesn't make you happy, you don't have to work at it. It should just be naturally given, which honestly is just a load of crap. Another thing that comes to mind, and this one specifically towards women, is the whole independent woman movement. There's a lot of women, especially in this day and age, that think just because she pays for her own stuff, she takes care of herself, and she doesn't need anybody to do that for her, she thinks that she's an independent woman, and I just say you're an adult. Stop acting like just because you take care of yourself doesn't mean you don't need anybody. We all need each other. To me, that's the equivalent of a man saying, I don't need a woman, I can just jerk off. You know what? Do that. I'll tell you how that works out. It's super sad and it's super lonely. Now, I personally feel one of the bigger reasons, at least for men, is that it is just not worth it. There are so many guys that get married, have kids with their wife, and their wife divorces them, takes the kids, takes the house, and the guy has to pay child support and alimony for her. And let's just say that they didn't have any kids. He still has to give her money for her once being his wife. That literally doesn't make any sense. You get money from me just because you are my ex-wife? So with that sole reason, I can see why a lot of men just simply do not want to get married. And with all the reasons I gave before, I can see why as a society we're getting married less and less. But anyways, what do you guys think about this topic? Why do you guys believe that people nowadays are just not getting married? Be sure to let me know in that comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and everybody, just remember, I am a nobody from nowhere, so really, what do I know? Peace.